Okay, hi. Welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth.
And I am Stacey, and we are thrilled to be here again.
We are. We have some fun things to talk about today.
Oh, yes. Beth and I have a love of old houses.
We do. I love old houses.
Me too.
Especially old Victorian homes. Those are my favorite. But I really love any kind of old home.
I do too. I really love structures no matter what they are. But those painted ladies,
Oh, aren't they gorgeous?
they're absolutely spectacular. We are definitely going to cover a painted lady today that sits on Vincennes Street in Flora.
Yeah, that's right.
But,
Vincennes Avenue, and it's a beautiful home. Someone's recently painted yellow, so you may know which one we're going to talk about.
You betcha, yeah.
Yeah.
We were just, focusing on so many the history of old homes, and man, when you go into these places that we're going to, you just feel the history. It's almost like it just wraps you up in a blanket.
Yes.
It's absolutely.
That's a good way to put it.
It is.
I feel like that too.
It's fantastic. We love history, and
we do.
Well, this is By the Way, and we love our little show here. And Beth, you want to tell the people where they can catch us?
Sure. So you can always catch us on Channel 100 on Wabash Communications. So if you're a Wabash customer, I think we're airing every day at like 11 a.m. now.
Yes, ma'am.
So check
Monday
us out.
through Friday.
If you don't have Wabash, you can always catch us on YouTube. And our YouTube channel is By the Way with Beth and Stacey, and Stacey is EY at the end.
Get that right.
Yeah, just type that into your search, and it should come up, and you can find us. And that's especially helpful for those people who love Clay County but no longer live here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, the ones that live here can watch us on Wabash, but the ones that live away aren't able to get that, and they can check us on YouTube.
Now, do we have an email address?
We do have an email address now.
right.
So it is By the Way with Beth and Stacey at gmail.com. And you can email us anytime, send us questions, comments, show ideas.
Yeah.
Any of that stuff, we would love to hear it. So
absolutely. We'd like to kick off our show a little bit with some Better Homes and Gardens.
Oh, yeah, bring it out. We always talk about something. And what do we got here? What year is this?
We are in January 1958,
Ooh,
Beth.
okay.
And this average circulation is 4,350,000 people.
Wow.
You know what? The
That's
funny
pretty
thing
big.
about this magazine in 1958, you know what this magazine cost? 35 cents.
Cool.
I picked up a Better Homes and Garden magazine the other day, just going through Walmart. It was like all the spring stuff.
Sure.
I don't know what it is. Spring and Christmas is literally about I don't really pick up much about fall, but spring and Christmas, I always pick them all up.
No, I'm kind of a sucker for the ones that have pumpkins on it too,
Yeah.
and
I just
decorate
picked
like
it
this
up.
for fall.
$12.99.
That doesn't surprise me.
$12.99.
Magazines are high.
They are high. But let me tell you, I picked this up at auction. I picked up about 15 or 20 of them. And this actually, the lady that this went to was Mrs. Frank Klingler. And she was from Wakefield, Illinois.
Aww.
I didn't even, you know what? I don't know. We've gone through 2 or 3 magazines, and I've never even bothered to look at them. I forget.
Like had the subscription sticker on
they
there.
used to have that on there all those
for
times.
the mail. Yeah.
But this one is a great one. But I'm going to pull this up. Beth is going to zoom in.
Okay, yeah. Let's look
Okay,
at this.
let's look at this magazine.
Oh, there you go.
There we
Yeah,
go.
yep.
Okay, look at her, Beth.
Oh, I love her.
Isn't it great?
Yeah, I love the colors. Man, like her whole room is so matchy.
Isn't
Got
it?
her yellow dress and her yellow dishes and her yellow curtains and her yellow wallpaper.
Isn't it? I mean,
I love it.
The people that set this stuff up, it's quite amazing. But so it's. I love the apples.
Yeah.
The apples are just crisp and perfect, and
They've been waxed. I bet they have a layer of wax on them.
Yeah.
Look at the kids. They're
And-
over there like what?
and
Roasting hot dogs?
Yeah, down below here, there's the most. You can't really see it, but there's the most perfect olives, and of course the pit of the olive is perfectly facing north. So you can see that. Yeah, the kids are over there roasting hot dogs and marshmallows, and
Oh, Dad's at work.
yeah, I bet he is.
Yeah,
I bet
but
he
Mom's
is.
getting the table set. She is ready for Dad to come home, and everybody is going to sit down and have a nice dinner, aren't they?
Yeah, fantastic. That fireplace is awesome.
I love the fireplace. It reminds me of the inn on White Christmas.
It does.
It's
Man,
like
I
it
love
needs
that
Bing
movie.
Crosby in there. Yes, it's something about the fireplace and the rocking chair and the wall. I don't know.
It kind of does.
that
Yeah.
feel.
Are you like? I mean, I don't know if you're like me, but I love Christmas stuff all the time. And I watch Christmas movies. I listen to Christmas music all year long.
Oh, I do too. My kids make fun of me.
I don't like winter.
Like when they pull up the on my phone, like recently listened to music, and mine is on the essential Christmas list. They're like,
I am that
Mom.
person. I love Christmas movies. I said I do not like winter. Winter does not like me.
I like all of the above. I like winter, and I like Christmas, and I like.
Yeah. But
what are you going to show us today?
Okay, this is fantastic. Not that. There we go. Here we go. This is great. Now, match your tile with dial.
Oh, my goodness.
Lovely new colors in complexion dial. Oh. So look at the lady, the picture of the lady. She's got the pink, the pastel pink dial, because she is got white or pink tile in the background.
Oh, okay. I'm following this. Okay, so at first I thought this ad was like each different color of soap was for like a different effect on your skin. Like if you use the green soap, it would take the pink tones out of your skin or something. I see now that is not the case.
Not even close.
No, the color the color of the soap is to only match your bathroom.
Exactly.
Your bathtub tile.
Yes, you have pastel pink, pastel green, pastel blue. And my all-time favorite, we don't just say yellow, we say new golden dial.
Of course, golden.
Because I love yellow and orange are my
Lovely.
favorites. But it's so funny because like when we bought our house, I could have put that pink soap right in there.
Oh yeah, all the bathrooms back then.
We had that pink tile.
They're pink tile, green tile, blue tile. I've seen them all. Like
it's fantastic.
Yes, and everyone these days is like, "Oh my gosh, that bathroom's so ugly. I got to tear it all out."
Yeah,
my husband would be like, "Let's tear that out." I'll be like, "No, it's so pretty, and we can buy a dial soap to match."
And I loved it. I just thought that was one of the best commercials.
Super cute one.
And I remember, my grandmother, she in her house, like every bathroom had one of them little ceramic doves. And all the different colored soaps at whatever. I think her bathroom was green, and the main bathroom we all used was a light blue.
Oh, fun.
And no matter where we were at, there were those soap changes,
Yeah.
But I thought that was super cool. But I'm in trouble today.
Okay, what did you do?
Well, it's this time change.
Oh man, it's
this time
messing
change
everybody up, isn't it?
Is messing us all up. But anyway, because I wake up this morning, I got up at 7, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's really only 6 o'clock. And there are so many people that really don't like the time change.
I don't like the time change. I would be team leave it alone.
I'm team leave it alone too. Just fall back.
Yes. Get back to the fall back, the one we just left, and then don't touch it again.
Yeah, leave it alone. Because, why?
Why are we still doing this? I read somewhere it had something to do with the reason they started it in the first place was to help with heating and cooling bills. Something about the more hours of the way it fell or something would help you economically. Mm-hmm. I don't know if any of that's true. I don't know the real reason.
I don't either. And I had always heard it had something to do with farmers.
Okay.
Something to do with farmers, gave them more daylight. But okay, real talk now. So, like back in the day, a farmer would have just been going, he would have needed to see where he was going.
Right.
But that was 100 years ago.
Now they have headlights. They have headlights on their tractors.
Farmers, man, once they hit the ground running, they don't stop. They go all night long.
Yeah, we don't need the time change.
I'm gonna have to have Mac. My son Mac Earlywine is a farmer, and I'm gonna say you need to go to Springfield and do something about this time change.
I think they've tried, but they keep saying they're gonna not do it anymore. But then they don't stop doing it.
No, they don't. And we missed a flight one time. We were flying out of Indy, and Jim and I forgot about the time. See, I don't like that either because it's kind of weird because you're just right there.
Yeah, we are very close to the timeline. For those that are watching and really aren't that familiar with where we live, we're really close to the line between the Central Time Zone and the Eastern Time Zone.
Yeah.
The people in the Eastern Time Zone are always on a different.
Exactly.
They're an hour. What are they? An hour ahead or an hour behind? I guess
I don't know where we're at now.
They're an hour behind.
We might be the same now. Isn't there some time where we're the same?
See, I feel like my brain comprehends a lot of things, but time changes, it does not.
No,
I cannot.
It messes with, Chattanooga, Tennessee is one of my favorite places, and there's this place called the Garden Walk Bed and Breakfast. But so you turn this corner, you're in Georgia at a different time. Then you go back across the street, you're back in Tennessee in this time.
Oh my gosh!
So wherever you're at, it's just a time. It's
that would be
people,
so
let's get
confusing.
on the same page.
Yes,
let's get on the same page. But why I'm in trouble?
Tell us.
Here's why I'm in trouble. Well, so I got up this morning and I'm ready and I got everything ready. I prepared. I had everything ready to bring for today. And I got out and I was in the back hatch of the car. And I'm like, oop, there's my phone. I better grab my phone real quick and take it in front in case you call me or something. So I start walking toward the front of my car, put the hatch down, and then I walk to the front of the car, and I'm like, oh, shoot, Jim bought some Diet Mountain Dews the other day. I put my cell phone on my hood.
So you could carry in the sodas?
So I could grab a soda. No,
just to grab a...
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I had both hands free. Why would you... Yeah.
So then what happened? Dun, dun, dun.
Yep. So I go in and I go through the Dairy Queen, get me a cup of ice, get me a Diet Coke, even though I have my Diet Mountain Dew in my car, and I'm driving down the road, I get in front of where the racetrack was tore down, and I'm like, whoa, something hit my windshield. It went like boop, 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 and then I got just 2 seconds down the road, and I lost my Pandora. My Stacey cell phone signal was lost. Boom. I was like, holy cow. I left my cell phone on the hood of my car.
Oh, no.
It was my cell phone that went up. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, I got to call Jim. Oh, my gosh, I can't call Jim because my cell phones, and there was a semi in front of me, a semi behind me, because it was a silly semi went by. Had that semi not gone by, it would have stayed flat on there, but as soon as that semi hit, it just went bloop, bloop, bloop.
Oh, yeah, because already you had driven pretty far from your house, through the Dairy Queen, through town, out of town.
Yes.
Partially to Louisville before anything happened to it that made it fall off the car.
It actually, and then I was behind that wide load, so I only drove 45 all the way up here. Had that semi not gone by, I'd have been. So then I get in here, and I walk into the studio, and I'm like, Beth, I need your phone. I got to call and tell Jim.
Rest in peace.
I got it.
To your phone.
I rest in peace. It's not there. So now we're just hopefully that I'm still married when I get home. And because I went up and I called him. I'm like, hey, you know what I did?
Oh, that's so sad.
And he was like, well, where is it? I said,
gosh.
It's on Route 45, darling, and somewhere between the bridge and the racetrack that was tore down.
No. Well, we have a good show planned today, though. We're going to talk
really
about
excited.
old houses. And kick us off with just a tiny bit about, before we go to commercial, let's talk a little bit about your doctor.
Beautiful Victorian on Vincennes Street. It is the J. Lock Black House.
Okay.
Mr. Milo Black was an Ohio gentleman that decided to come to Clay County. He was a doctor.
Oh, wow.
And so, and that house still stands today.
Yeah,
there's
a picture of it. We're going to talk a lot more about it.
Well, just look at that picture. I mean, with the exception of the I am going to say real quick, I love everything but the fashion of that time. But anyway, we're going to get back to that real shortly after our first commercial break.
Okay, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It's the weekend, and your symptoms are worsening. The morning of a big meeting, and you have a bigger sore throat. Ever experienced that urgency after picking up your sick child and your community health center has already closed? You will be able to connect to a provider at crhpc.org. Even if you have never been to CRHPC, you are welcome to utilize our services. Feel better after scheduling a video visit with CRHPC.
The insurance specialists have options to tailor to your needs at CSI Insurance Brokers. Experienced insurance brokers at CSI are skilled with all types of insurance plans and policies and represent many companies, including Safeco Insurance. You'll benefit from their detailed expertise, unbeatable premiums, and commitment to customer service. CSI Insurance Brokers and Safeco Insurance Company, providing affordable rates on quality insurance since 1952.
Okay, welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth.
And I am Stacey. And I think we're good to go, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, so let's keep talking. Let's talk about the Black House.
So we are talking about the Black House that is located on Vincennes Street, and we've already showed a picture of it. And so the Mr. Milo Black and his wife Priscilla, they moved to Sailor Springs.
Okay.
And now he doesn't want to be a doctor anymore, and so they buy a farm. And but everything it was great for a while, but then it wasn't, the money. Because you're talking, this man was a very well-known doctor in Ohio, so he was used to making a lot of money. So he decides that he's going to open up a mercantile in Sailor Springs.
Okay.
Once again, it was one of those things where Dr. Black was used to, so now we're farming and now we got this mercantile and people like to do trade and money's not changing hands. Okay. So then after that, he thinks that he went back to farming in 1871.
Okay.
So this man goes from being a farmer to a mercantile owner back to farming. Once again, it's not working out. They open up a mercantile in Clay City. It's not quite working out.
Wow.
But at this moment, Flora is starting to boom.
Right. That would be around probably 1850 when it started.
Yep, that's when we're all starting to happen.
Okay.
So it looks like in 1871, he went back into the mercantile business, but this time he did it in Flora.
Okay.
But he also partnered up with an Isaac Clark, and he opened up a grocery store on North Avenue in the Bowman block.
Okay.
So that block area, remember when we called it the Bowman?
The Bowman Hardware store, which is where Pocket Park or Phillips Park is now. That's
that was
lot.
that was considered the Bowman block.
Okay, the
right
Bowman
there.
block.
Okay, this gentleman was very, very, very smart. He never did go back to being a doctor, though, but he was the deputy county treasurer.
Okay.
He started the Burns and Black Abstract and Title Company.
Okay.
He was the owner of an insurance company called Richley Black and Maxey in 1891.
Okay.
He was the secretary of the Building and Loan Association.
Oh, okay. That old
city
Building
of
and
Flora.
Loan. I love you, Building and Loan.
Exactly. And he also started, get this, Aetna Life Insurance.
He started that whole entire company?
You betcha.
Holy cow, that's a big company today.
Yeah, it's a big company.
Do any of his descendants still live in Flora?
Not to my knowledge.
That's too bad.
No. So, the Blacks, they buy this property on Vincennes Street, and they build this home in 1885. And it was actually known as the Lyndhurst home.
Okay.
And it was one of the finest homes in Clay County. It had 10 rooms, 7 beautiful, beautiful marble fireplaces. Mm-hmm. And the grounds, so like if you look at the home.
Yeah, let's go back
to
this
the
picture
home
because it's a different, this is a little bit, you don't see this so much. Now there's a big woods behind this house.
There's a huge woods. So like this home sits on Vincennes, okay? So then to the east, you have Emory Street that runs in front of the new grade school, and to the west, you have Austin. So you have Emory and Austin both run to the south, okay? So, and you got homes on each side of those, but this home, that yard goes all the way back to, there's a trailer park after you get past where the Emory Street Church is
2 or
at.
3 acres of woods back there, I think now.
And from like when Penny Denson lived in the house, she told me years ago that like back in there, like it was grand. It had statues and it had fountains, and it was absolutely immaculate. It was the grandest home.
Let's take a look at what this house looks like today.
Look at that.
I think you've all probably driven by this home and admired it.
Yes.
And you can see there's trees behind it.
Yes.
That leads back into the woods.
Yeah, I mean, it's just phenomenal. And what was it? We don't just go around and we ask people before we take pictures of their homes. So we actually, Beth picked me up on, when did we do this?
Sunday.
And we're like, and I had already had it, of course, we think alike. So I had already had it in my head that we were going to, I wanted to go up, knock on the door, and, see if we could take a picture of the home. And, of course, they're very gracious, and we'll talk about our conversation with them. And as we're standing on their front porch, I'm like, trying to look inside. Hopefully they'll
She's
let
the
us.
nosy one.
Oh,
She
I'm
likes
so
to see
nosy.
the insides of houses.
Well, then we got into, so it had all this stuff. When they built that home in 1885, how much do you think that house cost to build?
I have no idea.
$3,800.
Wowzers.
Oh,
To build that grand home.
yes.
$3,800.
And today, when we were talking to the
And
New
what
York-
year was it built?
1885.
Okay, 1885, $3,500.
$3,800.
$3,800.
But and so when we were talking to the gentleman that lives there now,
Anthony Woolever, he's who owns the home now.
and they're loving it, and so they're starting to take a little bit. They're starting to, do some things.
Settle in
I think
and
we've had a
take-
couple previous owners, and we'll talk about some owners
Yeah,
here.
sure.
But he was very generous, and we knocked on the we knocked on the door and was like, "Hi,
Yeah,
here we are. We have
here
this
we
little
are."
show, and we love old houses, and
Yeah,
we want
can we take a picture of your house? And he was so nice, and he said,
nice.
absolutely.
And it's starting to be painted and starting to look beautiful. Well, after the blacks owned the house, it was sold to Victor and Violet Medley.
Okay.
And Violet Medley was actually the administrator at the Clay County Hospital.
Okay.
So I
Wow.
don't know the time. I have no dates.
don't know
but
the
we're
dates they
talking
owned it.
probably, I don't know, because the blacks were married in 43, so they were probably in their 20s then, and now it's 85. So, who knows? It probably I would say
Early 1900s.
1900s. Well, and so Victor and Violet decided that they would modernize it a little bit. So then they closed in the front porch because it looks totally different. I've lived in the South End my entire life, and I would ride my bike by this house. I would drive by this house. I love this home, and so they modernized it. They closed in the front porch, and unfortunately, they did decide that they would take out all the marble fireplaces, a lot of them. So they took them out, but anyway, so that's what Victor and Violet did. And then, I didn't know this, but then they live in the home, and then Mr. and Mrs. Leslie Wells was the owner of the home. He was our chief of police.
Okay.
And his son was Roger Wells, who was the president of First National Bank.
Okay.
So the Wellses lived in the home. And I don't think they ever changed anything. The only time, since the blacks had it, and then Victor and Violet had it, it stayed that same type look all the way through then Victor and Violet, through the Wells family, and then the next owners, I believe, were Mr. and Mrs. John O. Denson.
Yes.
Owned it.
John O., he ran the newspaper in Flora. He was a newspaper man. His wife helped him.
Yeah.
I know a little bit about this family.
Yeah.
John O. has a great stone out at Elmwood.
I need to go see that.
I need to look it up. I can't remember what it says, but it has a cute little epitaph on it. It's nice.
I'm going to have to, because they owned the Flora Daily News Record. So the Flora Daily, what exactly was the Flora? What was the
That's
news
what it was called
record?
before. It was the Advocate Press.
Okay. All right.
And then it later turned into the Advocate Press.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't for sure what that was.
Yeah.
And then Penny lived in it.
Yes. So then their daughter was Penny Denson, who was actually a friend of mine. And she and I worked at the newspaper office years ago because after she left, she was one of the original owners of the Hometown Journal.
Yes.
Well, no, I take that back. She wasn't one of the original owners. There was originally 4 owners. Penny bought into it about a year and a half to 2 years after it opened. But Penny had worked there from the beginning. She just hadn't really been an owner of it from the very beginning. But anyway, that's a side story. But she was a wonderful lady that lived there in that house, and she helped take care of her parents and lived in that for years. And sadly she died several years ago. Penny did.
Cancer.
Yeah, she had breast cancer and passed away.
Yeah, I always liked Penny. She, I did her hair for years, and so she'd come in, and she knew that I loved that house. And I was like, Penny, can I come please nosy? And she's like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I picked her up for work a few times because it was real snowy and icy, and she didn't drive in that. So I'd come pick her up, and I'd pull in the driveway, but I never got past the front door. She'd always come out. I'm like, I wanted to see your house. And she'd always tell me, it's not lovely like you think because somebody modernized it. And they took out all the fireplaces, and they redid the stairway and made it not the original beautiful woodwork. And they, from how she described it, they kind of like Brady bunched it up.
Well, that's what she told me too, because I'm like, Penny, please, I have to go in your house. I have to go into it. And she's like, Stacey, you'll be kind of disappointed. I said, I'll never be disappointed. Please just let me go in. And she was like, well, she told me about And of course, I didn't know it was Victor and Violet that did it, but that she said, "Oh no, they modernized it," and I'm like, "Please quit modernizing houses."
Yeah.
If you're going to live in a beautiful old home, please. I mean, I'll let you update the kitchen, but please leave the splendor of the home.
Yeah, leave the woodwork.
She wouldn't
beauty of it.
Oh yeah, she wouldn't let me. I wonder if it had pocket doors. I don't know what it is with me and pocket doors.
No,
I love them.
I love pocket doors too.
But we never got to go in. But I have a feeling that the Woolovers will let us go in that house sometime.
Oh, maybe so.
I think he liked us.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
he's a nice guy. So maybe he will. Maybe he'll let us have a tour sometime.
Yeah, really. So, just a little heads up for everybody, because we will be walking around town and taking pictures. And if there's a knock on your door, dee, 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 hello, we're here. We would like to take a picture of your home. Because
and we may even, with Stacey's new phone she's going to get, even put in a little picture of Sylvester Stallone right next to your house.
I think fun. I'm going to take that picture that we have, and I'm going to go and I'm going to put me on the front porch with Sylvester Stallone.
Okay.
When Jim gets me my new phone.
Okay.
If I'm a good girl and he gets me one today. He's going to have to do something.
Yes, you can't live without a phone.
So anyway, that's what I know about the Black House. Let's just show that picture one more time, the original picture.
I love it.
See, because, when we were there, see that little, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't those little spindles there when we were there in that picture? It's still the same, isn't it?
I don't think so. Let's
go back to this picture, because let's take a look.
It's close.
It's very close. It must be new. Oh, and then right when you walk up the staircase right there, the stairway. So that pretty stuff that's more looks like, what's that called? Just the white stuff above the doorway there where you come in.
The gingerbread trim or whatever.
Yeah, that's gone. Yeah, that just looks like regular tile. But I love but I think the red peak, is still
yes.
That looks like.
And I like the paint colors.
Oh yeah. I love
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful home,
and it just looks so clean.
Yes,
it looks so clean. But apparently, whenever I was talking to Penny, whenever she would come in, and she said, like her father for years would mow that back 2 acres, and so apparently there's a lot of chipped up marble in there.
Oh wow, from the fireplaces.
Yeah, I wonder if the new owners will let us go back with a metal detector.
I don't know.
And the stone. So somebody a long time ago took down the stone statues and just chopped them up and just got rid of the stone statues. So there's marble. We'll have to ask.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of history there. Beautiful home.
Lots and lots and lots and lots of history. So our next adventure is going to be another house that we both love. We'll go into that here after we do a quick commercial break. But I'm excited about talking about. You know more about this house than I do.
I do.
I didn't research this house like you did.
I researched this one. I already knew a little bit about it, but I got my facts straight, and it's a fun story. So
yeah, I'm excited.
You'll like it.
I'm excited to hear about that.
Let's take a break, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County, Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Pegel's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Pegel Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
For over 50 years, at your locally owned and operated Royal King Supply in Salem and Olney, we've helped you and your neighbors enjoy an easy country lifestyle. We carry the most thorough sporting goods department around with a huge variety of hunting and fishing gear, camping equipment, and a variety of firearms for any need. Our team is here to help you find whatever you need. Open every day, it's Royal King in Salem and Olney, your locally owned farm and home store.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. Free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Okay, welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth.
I am Stacey.
Okay, so we are going to dig into another house.
Ooh,
So
I'm
I got some
excited.
a story for you.
I can't wait.
Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the Reaugh house. Okay, so and that is spelled Reaugh, not just Ray. It's kind of a lot of
that's an
a lot of
interesting.
a lot of silent letters in that one. Okay, so this house is on the corner of East 4th and Sycamore, 303 East 4th. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you a quick picture, and you might recognize that this is the house I'm going to talk about. This is the Reaugh house. So it's a a brick home, and
Real quick, what's growing up? Is that like you see the pillars on the porch? Is there something growing up? Is that like
looks like ivy or something?
Vegetation growing up there?
I don't know, some kind of vine
Boy,
they have.
and it still looks good. I mean, it still.
Oh,
looks, that's a solid brick house, though.
Yes,
isn't it?
I'll show a picture of how it looks today here in a little bit. But okay, so this home was built by Judge Richard Sprigg Canby Ray. Okay, everyone called him Sprigg, like his wife or whatever. They called him Sprigg, but he, back in that day, everybody went by initials. Oh yeah. So he was called Judge R.S.C. Ray. That's what everything was signed and people how they referred to him. So he was an attorney and a judge. And let me find his picture real quick. Let's take a look at this young man. There he is.
Look
okay,
how dapper.
Very dapper.
Gosh, he looks like
color.
He looks like he's about 15.
Well, this is in his younger days. Okay, so
and he was a judge.
He was a judge. He was an attorney, and he came to Flora. He would ride the trains because he was a circuit judge. Okay, so he would travel around to the different circuits. Okay, so he was on a train one day. Got off in Flora near the cafe I believe was out by the East End, not the East End cafe, but like before that, I guess there was one out there because this was pretty early. And he sat down and he ordered his meal, and then he ordered dessert, and he would like apple pie, and they brought him out the apple pie, and they served it to him, and he was like, this is the best apple pie I've ever eaten in my entire life. I don't know who made it, but I'm going to marry the woman that made this pie. That's how good it was.
Seriously.
And everyone was just kind of like, and he's like, bring out the woman that made this pie.
I love it.
So they did.
Yes.
She was 12 years old.
Holy cow.
12 years old, and her name was Mary DeLong. And I think she was like one of 5 kids.
Okay.
And her mother worked there at the restaurant, and she had each of the kids make a dish. Like that was their thing to make. So Mary's dish that she made was apple pie. Of course, she became very good at it. So then he was like, well, obviously I can't marry a 12-year-old, but I love her apple pie. I'm going to wait and marry this woman when she grows up. Not even kidding.
Are you kidding?
No, and he did. He waited.
Fantastic.
He waited 8 years on this woman, and when she was 20 years old, they got married in 1897. So when she was 20, he waited from the time she was 12 to 20, and then they got married. So, I mean, and he was quite a bit older than her because whenever she was 12, he was already out of college, and he was already an attorney.
He was practicing
law.
Where'd he come from?
And a judge.
Do you know where he came from?
I did not write that down.
He was on the train, and he just happened to stop in Flora?
Yeah, well, he was already kind of working this area. It was on a circuit. Okay, so they got married. So then they are the ones that built this house. They built the house. And when it was being built, the carpenters, this is a really sad, the apple pie story is an awesome, happy story. This is the tragedy. Okay, so when the house was being built, some carpenters were working on the 4th floor. I mean, this is a tall house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a full 2-story. I mean, yeah, it's serious business.
Yeah,
there.
well, this was the 4th, what they call the 4th floor, or the attic area, but it was, walking room or whatever. And they, the carpenters left some, what they called caustic acid out, and the caustic acid is apparently pink in color, and it was in a real pretty glass bottle, and they left it on the the stone ledge or windowsill, but it was kind of a stone ledge, and apparently the Ray's little 18-month-old daughter had gotten upstairs and saw that pink drink.
18 months old, huh?
Uh-huh. And she drank it and she died.
Oh, my goodness.
And
oh, my.
Her name was Cornelia. Isn't that pretty?
Was that the oldest child that they had? Was she their eldest, or?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. But this was in 1905. She drank it and she died. And I actually know the Ray's granddaughter is Marianne Ayers. We know Marianne. Okay, so Marianne said that her grandma's hair, that would be the mother of this baby, turned white overnight, and it just wrecked her. So the mother, she wouldn't stay living there. Like, she wanted to move out immediately. She couldn't live there anymore, even though I don't even think the house was completely finished, since there were still carpenters in the house.
I would think not, yeah.
But she was like, nope, not living here. I'm done. I can't. I just can't. So then they started building another house.
Oh, okay.
And that one is on North Olive, and I'm not real sure who lives in that house.
Thinking about North Olive. Where are we at in North Olive?
Yeah, it's just kind of south of the radio station. There's several homes there.
So it actually sits on, is it one of the ones that are back off the road?
Yes, it's not the blue one. It's the cream-colored one next to the blue one.
Isn't that where,
well,
Jane Schneider.
Jane Schneider
Jane
lived there?
Schneider and her husband, Joe Gilliland. The Gillilands lived there.
Oh, yeah. I think Marianne said that, and I forgot
and that
who
was
she said.
Mrs. Wolf's house. Remember Mrs. Wolf? Oh, Wolf lived there, too.
Okay. Lewis Wolf?
Yeah, I believe so, because their home was on the cemetery. I'm sorry,
home tour.
Their home was on the home tour.
Okay, I don't remember.
Yeah,
that one.
that's where. That's where Jane and Joe live.
Okay, well, here's a picture of the Ray house.
So they built it. Okay.
Today, this is what it looks like. Isn't that pretty?
So I wonder what happened
so
to
nice.
that.
So David and Leah Forth live there now.
Who bought it though? So did they finish the home and then sell the home?
I would say so, because I asked Marianne. I'm like, well, did they move out? Like that night, after it happened, after this baby died, did she say, I got to get out of here, and she never lived there again? And she's like, no, it wasn't like that. Like, they had to, build another one and prepare another home to move into.
So do you have pictures of the family?
I do. So here we go. This
this
is Judge Ray later on, and you can tell he's aged quite a bit. His wife, she has the white hair, but she honestly could not have been that old in this picture.
Well,
these are siblings. These are siblings that came later.
That's got to be the picture of the house sitting on Olive, because it's got the siding. And doesn't that house still have those pillars up there? Yeah, that's Jane and Joe Gilliland live there now.
Okay.
On North Olive.
Yeah, I bet this is.
I bet that is
in North Olive. Yeah, because it doesn't look like the other one. It's not brick.
No, it's not the other one. Mm-hmm. So that must be after they moved out. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine how devastating that would be? But
no, I just can't.
18-month-old, how the little 18-month-old baby get up them stairs? Well, I got a granddaughter, and she's a little over a year old. They are fast.
They're fast, and maybe there was something else going on in the house, and Mama got distracted, and before you know it, she always wanted to climb those stairs, and probably just took a split second.
Oh yeah.
For that to happen.
Man.
So, yeah, that's the main story about the Rays. Now, there's a little side story too, though. How much time do we have before commercial? Okay.
Yeah, we got time.
So the judge's mother lived with him too, and I think that Marianne said she moved in maybe right after the baby died, but it might have been all along. But the judge's mother, her name was also Cornelia, so we know why the baby was named that. It was after his mother. So she had previously been married to someone named Upton Ray. Mm-hmm. Now, Upton was in the Civil War.
Oh,
okay. So, but he never came home. And they just thought he was killed in action, that he was dead.
He went off to the Civil War.
They went off to the Civil War.
Didn't keep track a lot, did they?
And he never came home. So here is Cornelia waiting for him. And he didn't come home. So they thought he was dead, but only to find out years later he wasn't dead at all. He just didn't come home.
Really?
Yes.
That is a scam. Wow.
So
And that's the judge's father?
The judge's father, Mr. Upton Ray. And he apparently, and I don't remember the story of who found the grave, but they did find him buried in Louisville, Kentucky. But he had lived a long time after the Civil War. Like he had went on to have a long, full life. And then was buried there. And he apparently had just abandoned his family. And no one is exactly sure why. But, you know, there's a lot of reasons that could have been. He could have come back with a drug problem or alcohol.
Who knows?
He could have had severe PTSD. I mean, that wasn't called that then, but I mean, Civil War was serious stuff.
If he had another
did he have a dual family? I don't know. I don't think that they said that there was any family buried there near him, but I don't remember the whole story. That's just what I.
That's an interesting little story.
So, yeah. So, apparently, this Judge Ray had then Mom can live with us. Maybe she lived with them all along.
Mm-hmm. She may have. Yeah.
Because he's like, you know, she's a single woman, a widowed woman at that time.
It would make sense.
Yeah, it's pretty common for someone to live with their with their son or whatever. So
that is crazy. Yeah. The Civil War. Yeah, I tell you what, you study a lot of wars and stuff. Boy, that Civil War, that's probably, to me, seems like
it had to be extremely traumatic.
It had to have been the worst. Mm-hmm. Right here. It's hard to even fathom that even happened on our soil.
Yeah.
You know, the Revolutionary War, you kind of get it because, you know, you're fighting for the freedom and everything. Boy, it's almost hard for me to even study things about the Civil War.
It's hard for me to learn about the medical part of the Civil War, like them cutting off people's legs with no anesthesia and stuff like that. And I'm sure it saved their lives a lot of the times, but not always. A lot of times the infection is what killed them later.
Right.
But,
that's
it's just, I mean, I can't imagine the pain and the starvation, and it was freezing cold. I mean, so, I mean, honestly, just to give Upton Ray a break here, like, his mental health was probably really suffering.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just something that wasn't talked about back then and wasn't, you know, it was just you were supposed to come home and just return to normal. No, you know, you go back to your family and act like nothing happened.
Oh, yeah.
And he just maybe couldn't do that. And maybe he didn't want to bring his sorrows and his troubles, his burdens
he could have lived out a hermit.
Yeah, he could have. And, you know, his wife even was asked one time, well, what would you do if he just walked in the door? And she said, oh, I would run to him.
Really?
Yeah. So sad.
How many children did they have? How many, like the judge, did he have a lot of siblings?
I don't know. I didn't look that up.
Yeah, it is interesting when you start to. So is that family? Are they buried in our cemetery? Are they buried out of Elmwood?
I think they are. I think the Ray family is out there, and they actually have been featured a couple of times in the cemetery tour.
Have they?
The family, yeah. I think, Joel Hackney, I think, played Judge Ray twice.
Oh, yeah, we may have. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He may have played him in a skit with Jim, too, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll come back and finish our discussion on these beautiful old homes. Maybe take another gander at the pictures after a commercial break.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
Give me order lumber. Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank. We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online banking, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
Okay, welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey.
Hello, I'm Stacey Earlywine.
I'm Beth Cooper.
All right, so we have just discussed the Black House on Vincennes and the
Reaugh House on East 4th.
East 4th, some beautiful homes, and I think we're just getting started on those homes.
Oh, there's old homes everywhere I want to talk about. There's some in Louisville. There's some in Clay City. And
see, I want to get Nancy Byers' house in Louisville. I want to get a hold of Nancy.
Okay.
Yeah, and talk. And Chris Roopson, my friend Chris Roopson.
Oh, yeah, hers is
lives
beautiful.
in her grandmother's house.
Yeah. That's a great one.
Yeah. So we've got a lot to discuss on the home. Yeah. So once again, if you see us just out and about and randomly knock on your door, don't shoot.
Don't shoot. We're there to talk about your architecture and your beautiful home.
Yeah. So at least we know nothing tragic happened to the Black House, but in the Reaugh House, a little tragedy.
Little tragedy there. Yeah, that's sad.
That is very sad. Yeah. I don't know, but boy, the homes you just don't. My husband Jim was raised in Robinson, and I'm going to tell you what. You want to talk about some spectacular homes? Every time we go there, just drive around. They're beautiful, and there are some younger people that are moving in. Robinson's downtown's really cool too. They've really kind of kept it up. Robinson's just a really neat town. I like it.
Yeah, some towns are they have way more older homes. You drive through and you're like, I love this town. Like other towns, not as much.
Right, yeah, and Robinson's one of them. Onley's got some beautiful old homes, but I used to think that Onley had a lot. But boy, I'll tell you what, Robinson's where it's at. Yeah, and Jim, of course, Jim's grandmother, Hallie Earlywine, lived in Palestine. That's where Jim's dad was born, and so there's some homes in Palestine. But boy, Robinson, and they're grand. They are absolutely grand.
I haven't been there in a while. I need to drive through.
Like north side, south side, doesn't know no bounds. It's absolutely spectacular.
Okay.
It's awesome. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about our rules.
Oh, yes. Every episode we go over a rule to live by.
A rule to live by.
And where were these pulled from?
I don't know. I found them. I think Rena Lentz had a column. But, we have 16 of them. I think this is number 7 on the list.
Okay.
But so I'm going to have to go. I'm sure we can probably Google some rules to live by. We'll make up our own. Rules to live by Beth and Stacey.
That ought to be good, huh? Oh, I can only imagine. Okay.
Yeah. My first rule would be smile when you're at Walmart, even if you're having a bad day.
You know what my first rule would be?
What?
Please do not drive the speed limit or below between the hours of 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. Thank you very much.
That is true. That is true. I got behind a car today pulling away, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. Of course, my phone had already blown off the hood of my car, and I lost my phone, so I was a little bit crazy anyway.
Yeah.
But that yours would be.
Yeah, actually, let's just make it between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. Thank you very much.
Let's just make it 24 hours.
There we go. Even better.
Let's just make it 24 hours.
Pedal to the metal, people.
Pedal to the metal. Beth and I both have we're both pretty speedy drivers.
That's right. Unless you're a law enforcement officer and then close your ears. You didn't hear any of that.
That's right. Yeah, you do not know who we are. That's right.
So go ahead. Hit us with our rule to live by.
Okay, this is a good one. Believe in love at first sight.
Ooh.
Believe and love at first sight. So let's just talk. Just a little history of your story with Jason.
Okay, so Jason and I have been married over 20 years. 22 now. It was love at first sight for him. He told me this story. He remembers, this is good. He remembers seeing me and maybe talking to me, I think he even said, when I was 16 years old, cruising Flora back in the, in the 90s when everyone cruised. He knew exactly what I had on. I had on white denim Guess shorts. And I don't remember what shirt he said I had on. He remembers all this. He knew my driver's license, what it said. He knew my car was a blue Cavalier. Yeah. He knew all of these things. Fast forward like 2 years when I was like 18. Then I actually met him and remembered him, talked to him, and he remembered meeting me too. That's how much of an impression I left on this man. Like
you did.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, in the beginning, I was kind of like, I mean, I really liked him, but I wasn't sure about dating him. I don't know that it was love at first sight, but I fell in love really shortly after. Probably, within just a month or so. I mean, it was fast, but I don't know if love at first sight is like always
a thing.
Yeah. I mean, it exists.
I think it exists for some.
Tell us how.
Well,
you and
Jim and I met at Flora High School. Playing volleyball. Donna Krutzinger had a class that she was teaching through Fairfield.
Okay.
And my friend Susan Hagen and Christina Binky Sturm was like, oh, come on, let's go do this. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. So anyway, we went, and then Jim, it was a co-ed, and Jim was in there. And at the time, he lived with Steve Robb and Jim Conley. And so we met, and Jim can also, it's funny, Jim can't remember what happened last night, but he can remember exactly what I wore when I came.
What is it?
Apparently, I was wearing a pink jumpsuit. It would have been, gosh, when would this been? 86.
Okay, so you left an impression on that man too.
I did.
Yeah,
he does, and it surprises me. And I didn't realize that till our small group meets. We have a Bible study that meets on Sunday night, and Jim and I's story is really neat. And I would like to do like a love story thing.
Oh yeah, an episode on love stories.
Yeah, exactly, because we are literally, when I tell you our story, you're not going to believe it, because there were paths crossed, other people involved, and all this stuff. And our story went to Florida, left him behind. I mean, if anybody's destined to be together, it's he and I.
Oh, wow.
I definitely think that God...
Sounds like a made-for-TV movie.
It really is. It really is. And when I tell you the story, it's really interesting. But if two people are destined to be together, it's Jim. Now, he may beg to differ since he's walking on Route 45 trying to find my phone that I left on the hood.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he'll still love me today. But
why he's doing that is because he does love you.
He does love me. Yeah,
he does.
But and Jim was just, he was such a flirt and all this stuff. And I just remember him being, I'm like, oh, he's a player. He's a player. I didn't know him because he was from Robinson. I didn't know he was. I didn't, but like I said, we'll get into the gritty details of it later.
Okay.
But it is very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Our story is, because like I said, if two people were meant to be together.
Well, that's awesome. I love a good love story.
I love my mom, and I wanted my mom and dad. And it's so funny because like my parents' love story is wonderful too, because the way my mom just dangled my dad along was great, because my dad was one of them type people that was used to just calling up somebody and, hey, you want to go on a date tonight?
And they were like, yeah. So she played hard to get.
She did play hard to get, and she caught him, and she had
Smart woman.
She had him right here for 39 years, you know. Yeah, but so love. We definitely want to do a story on love stories sometime. But yeah, it's very interesting. But while we have a little bit extra time, talk about love stories.
Okay.
I just flipped my magazine over here.
Okay.
So we're going to go back to the handy dandy. Now, I'm looking at it, and we don't have pictures because this is just an impromptu thing, guys. But I'm looking at this picture, and I'm going to hold her up. Okay, this is a Tide ad.
Okay.
Okay, Beth, just kind of get in there.
Okay.
Where am I? Look at her. Where am I?
Move it a little bit.
There we go. There we go. Look how happy she is. The cleanest clean under the sun. New Tide clean. I mean, but she is on a beach.
This is the kind of woman.
I think she's like in the sand. She's in she's in the sand with her pumps on, but she's on the beach. Come on, people.
Oh, her dress matches her sheets.
And
I bet.
Is that not the greatest thing you've ever seen in your life?
Oh,
New Tide, but she's like, yeah, I'm on the beach. Now, who? I mean, okay, guys, we all get on the beach. Okay, or at least, I'm a beach gal. But come on, there is so much wet or sand in that baby. Because, there's going to be a 10-year-old kid that gets up and flips his towel.
Right.
And here comes the sand. But I am telling you, is that not... Look at her. She's super thrilled to be. She loves her New Tide. This is... Okay, this used to drive my grandmother crazy because she'd be like, leave everything alone. Because this magazine's 1958, and it's New Tide already. How long's Tide been out? And already we got New Tide.
Oh, those marketing people, they're always making it new again.
And then the new again, and then the extra new, and then the extra, extra new, and then back to the basics new. And then we got to change the basics.
It's a cycle. But I just feel like she's so matchy-matchy.
I'm just
her soap also matches her tile.
I bet her bathroom is... Well, she's hanging up towels, so you know darn good well that she's got the golden dial.
That's right.
I don't know, Beth. I was just flipping through there, and I found that, and I'm
fantastic.
like, that is quite priceless.
Oh man, that made my eyes water.
I know it, but I just
funny.
came across her, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I wish I was that. I wish I was that enthusiastic about. I laughed so hard I messed my mic up. But I wish I was that enthusiastic about my laundry.
I was in the baby.
I should buy Tide. There I go.
Yeah, if you would
but
buy
I'm not
Tide,
using Tide.
Well,
But apparently I need to be.
If she's hanging out laundry on the beach, that woman's got a beach house. Maybe
she does.
You think maybe we'd like the laundry better if we had a beach house?
Probably. We would like everything better if we had a beach house.
I'm almost thinking the same thing. Yeah,
Yes.
that would be super cool. But
Yeah,
Jim.
Her beach. You know how all the houses on the beach are painted a different color?
I love that.
Hers is yellow.
Hers is yellow. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
If I win the lottery, and we didn't buy tickets.
Oh,
the
I
other
did.
day.
I did.
Did
I
we
bought
win?
one. I hardly ever buy a lottery ticket.
When you buy one,
but I was in St. Louis and I was in a gas station and the people in front of me were buying one, and I thought,
Was that when we were there the other day?
Yes, you waited in the car.
Oh my gosh, I knew it.
But no worries. I will share my winnings with you.
Okay, well, it should have already been announced.
Oh, I haven't checked the numbers.
Oh.
They're probably waiting on me to call right now.
I'd be like, hello, it's By the Way with Beth and Stacey, and we'd like our money. Yeah, because Linda, my sister, was with us, and we were even like, let's get. We had a fun day of shopping and escape rooming.
We did. We had a great time in St. Louis. But yeah, I'm the one that bought the lottery ticket. But it should be enough for everyone. So
well,
no worries.
I haven't even heard. I didn't even hear. But people don't get excited when it's around 200 million. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's one of those things.
I get excited if it is even 200,000. Or $200 period.
I will take $5.99.
Yeah,
at $5.
$2 on a scratch off. I'm still excited.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I just like winning.
I can't believe that I did not remember to get me a ticket.
Yes,
that's no fun.
Yeah. So okay, so if you're just joining us for the first time and you listen to all this craziness, this is kind of how it is every week on By the Way with Beth and Stacey. And each week we pick a different topic. And you can always find us on Channel 100 on Wabash Television. But we're also on YouTube. And our YouTube channel is called By the Way with Beth and Stacey. So you can just type that right into your search there on YouTube. And we also have an email address, and it is bytheway@gmail.com. So if you have any questions or you have any topic ideas, something you want covered, something that we've said that you have a comment on, send us an email anytime.
Yeah,
we will read it and try to get to the bottom of either your question or help you out on whatever information you're searching for, because we do have different ways of researching and different things, websites and things that we use to find our history information, and a lot of old books, different resources that we use, and several people help us with research. Donna Corey at the Flora Public Library is one of them. She helps me with a lot. John Baylor's willing. He helps with research. There's just different people kind of behind us that help with things.
Yeah,
and
so we would love it. If you have a story you'd like for us to cover, or a home, or that you'd like for us to explore and go through, we will gladly do it.
If you'd like to invite us over and show us all of your home, we would love to do that, because Stacey's nosy and I like old houses. And but on the serious side, like if you do have a historic home, let me know.
Oh, we would love we would love to come visit, and
yes,
it would be awesome. We'll just sit around and drink a Diet Coke, and
that's right,
and talk about what's going on. But yeah, we are really enjoying this, and we have a lot to cover in Clay County, and who knows, after we get to going here, if you live in another county, I know Wabash is just not only Clay County.
Oh, right, it's
Wabash
other
is
counties
everywhere.
So
we will be. We might. Who knows? Maybe we'll go to Robinson. I don't know if they're.
Yeah, I don't know if they're in the area. I'm not sure, but we can check
Palestine.
them out.
Palestine is the first town in the state of Illinois. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I have no idea if you're wrong or you're right.
Positive.
So we'll just say you're right.
I'm just going to say I'm right.
I want to cover the old homes in Odin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Those beautiful Sears Roebuck homes.
I love those. Yeah, that would be awesome.
I think they have at least 4 there.
But, but it's time for us to go.
Okay. All right. Well, we're done for today. Thanks for joining us. It's been fun.
All right. God bless you. Have a good one.